Have you ever wondered why some people stay calm when everything around them falls apart? Why in the middle of chaos, while others lose control, there are a few who breathe, think clearly, and move with quiet confidence? It's not luck. It's not something they were born with. It's the result of training the mind. The kind of training that gives you power over fear, over anger, over panic. And today, that's exactly what you're going to learn how to do. Because the truth is, life will never stop testing you. You will face moments that shake your patience, challenge your limits, and make you question your strength. People will misunderstand you. Plans will collapse. Unexpected situations will appear out of nowhere. And in those moments, your reaction will define everything. Most people let emotion take over. They raise their voice, they rush decisions, they drown in frustration. But a trained mind stays still. It observes, it breathes, it chooses how to respond instead of being dragged by the storm. That's real strength, the kind that no one can take from you. When you learn to stay calm, you stop giving power to things outside your control. You no longer waste energy on what doesn't deserve it. You begin to move differently, slower but sharper. You speak less, but your words carry more meaning. Calmness doesn't mean weakness. It's not silence out of fear. It's silence out of control. It's the deep understanding that your peace is worth more than your impulse. Think about how many times you've looked back and said, I shouldn't have reacted like that. Think about how many moments were lost because emotion took the lead. Every time that happens, it's a reminder that your emotions are running you, not the other way around. But imagine flipping that. Imagine becoming the kind of person who doesn't flinch when provoked, who doesn't panic when things go wrong, who stays clear, collected, unshaken. That's not impossible. It's a skill, and like any skill, it can be trained. This is the essence of what Shi Heng Yi teaches, that the mind, just like the body, can be conditioned. Through awareness, discipline, and repetition, you can build mental stillness as real as muscle strength. You can become grounded no matter the noise, balanced no matter the chaos. The same way you train your body to move with precision, you can train your thoughts to move with peace. And here's why this matters. When you stay calm, you win twice. You win against the situation because your clarity helps you see solutions others can't. And you win against yourself because every calm response rewires your brain to stay composed the next time. You become unstoppable, not because life gets easier, but because you become unshakable. Stay here, because in the next moments, you're going to learn how to build that calmness step by step by step. You'll learn how to shift your energy from reaction to reflection, how to breathe through the storm instead of fighting it, and how to find strength in stillness. By the end, you won't just understand what calmness means. You'll feel it. You'll know how to carry it within you anywhere, at any time. This is where your training begins. The first step to training your mind to stay calm is awareness. The ability to see what's happening inside you before it controls you. Most people never pause long enough to notice their thoughts. They react instantly, driven by emotion, and later wonder why they said or did things they regret. But awareness changes everything. The moment you observe your thoughts, you separate yourself from them. You stop being the emotion and become the observer. That space, that tiny gap between stimulus and response, is where your power lives. When anger rises, when fear takes over, when frustration builds, that's your signal. That's your moment to pause. Not to suppress it, not to fight it, but to see it clearly. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why? That single question interrupts the emotional current. It breaks the chain reaction that usually ends in regret. Awareness doesn't remove emotion. It transforms it. It gives you the ability to hold the storm without being swept away by it. This is where discipline enters. Calmness isn't born from comfort. It's built in discomfort. The moments that test your patience are your training ground. Every delay, every insult, every disappointment, they are not there to break you. They are there to build you. They are the gym for your mind. When you choose not to react, when you choose to breathe instead of explode, you are strengthening your mental muscle. The more you practice this, the stronger you become. Over time, what once triggered you no longer has power over you. Science supports this. Studies in neuroscience show that mindfulness and emotional regulation reshape the brain. The amygdala, the center of emotional reactivity, becomes less dominant. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making and control, becomes stronger. In simple terms, your brain learns calmness as a habit. What once felt impossible becomes natural. You begin to carry peace even when surrounded by chaos. But awareness and discipline are not enough without acceptance. You must accept that you cannot control everything. You cannot stop challenges, pain, or loss. You can only control how you meet them. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing what is and choosing not to waste energy fighting reality. It's the difference between drowning in the wave and learning to ride it. Once you stop resisting what you can't change, peace flows naturally. You no longer fight the moment, you move with it. When you live from this place, life starts to feel lighter. Problems still come, but they no longer define you. You begin to see lessons where you once saw threats. You find clarity where you once found confusion. Calmness becomes your weapon, your shield, your compass, and people notice it. They feel it when they're around you. You become a source of stability in a world addicted to noise. That's the beauty of mental training. It doesn't just change how you feel, it changes who you are. You become centered, intentional, grounded in every decision. And this isn't about pretending to be calm, it's about embodying. It's about mastering yourself so deeply that nothing external can shake your internal peace. This is the mindset of strength, the mindset of stillness. The mindset of a trained mind. True calmness begins when you realize that everything you experience starts in the mind. The world outside doesn't disturb you. Your interpretation of it does. Two people can face the same challenge, yet one collapses while the other grows stronger. The difference is perception. When you see a situation as a threat, your body tenses, your breath shortens, and your mind floods with fear. But when you see it as an opportunity to grow, everything changes. Your heartbeat slows, your awareness sharpens, you stop reacting and start responding. This is mental mastery, shifting from fear to focus, from panic to purpose. Every emotion you feel carries energy. Anger burns fast and uncontrolled. Fear drains your strength. Calmness, on the other hand, preserves it. It channels your energy inward where it becomes power. The calmer you are, the more control you have over your choices, your words, your future. Calmness is not passivity, it's precision. It's what allows a warrior to move with patience, a leader to speak with wisdom, and an ordinary person to face extraordinary circumstances with quiet strength. When you train your mind to see challenges differently, you reclaim your power. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin asking, what is this teaching me? That simple change shifts you from victim to master. It turns pain into fuel. Because every difficult moment holds a lesson. Every obstacle a hidden gift. The calm mind finds it. The restless mind misses it. The more you look for growth in the chaos, the faster you evolve. Your calmness deepens not because life is easier, but because you are stronger. Breath is your greatest ally in this transformation. It is the bridge between your mind and body, between chaos and control. When you slow your breathing, you signal to your nervous system that you are safe. Your body relaxes, your thoughts clear, and your emotions settle. This is not philosophy, it's biology. Every slow breath tells your brain, I am in control. So in the middle of pressure, breathe. When you're angry, breathe. When fear rises, breathe. This is your anchor. The more you return to your breath, the more unshakable your calmness becomes. The mind, when left untrained, behaves like a wild animal, constantly jumping, worrying about the past or fearing the future. But when trained, it becomes a loyal companion, sharp, focused, and calm. Training your mind means bringing it back to the present, again and again until it stays. You do this through daily awareness, noticing your thoughts, feeling your emotions without judgment, and choosing where to place your attention. Over time, this practice becomes natural. You begin to live in the now, not trapped by memories or fears, but fully grounded in this moment. That is where true peace lives, not in escaping life's storms, but in standing still within them. Calmness doesn't mean avoiding emotion, it means mastering. It's the art of letting life move through you without losing your center. When you reach that point, nothing outside you can control what happens inside you. That's freedom, the kind that no one can give or take away. It's the calm within chaos, the strength within stillness. The power that turns every situation into a step forward. And once you taste that power, you never want to live any other way. The more you practice calmness, the more you realize it's not something you do, it's something you become. It starts as an effort, a conscious act of breathing through the noise, but over time, it becomes your nature. You stop reacting impulsively because peace becomes your default state. This is not about denying emotion or pretending everything is fine. It's about developing the inner strength to meet life as it is without losing your balance. A calm mind doesn't mean an empty one. It means a clear one. It's the mind of someone who has faced storms and learned not to be moved by every wave. To reach this state, you must let go of control, not of yourself, but of outcomes. Most of our anxiety comes from wanting things to go a certain way. We cling to expectations, and when reality doesn't match them, we suffer. But calmness grows when you accept that you can't control every result. You can only control your effort, your attitude, your response. The rest is not yours to manage. Once you understand that, your tension starts to dissolve. You act with full intention, yet without desperation. You give your best, then release the rest. That's the essence of freedom, effort without attachment. Psychologists call this state equanimity. It's not indifference, it's balance. It's the ability to stay steady in both success and failure, praise and criticism. When your mind no longer swings wildly between extremes, you gain stability that few people ever experience. You become grounded, unshaken, centered, and from that center you make wiser choices. You speak less but with more purpose. You move slower but with more accuracy. You stop wasting energy chasing approval or avoiding judgment. Instead, you act from clarity, and clarity always creates results that chaos never can. Calmness also transforms how you deal with others. You begin to see through their emotions instead of being pulled into them. When someone lashes out, you recognize it's their pain speaking, not their truth. When someone tries to provoke you, you no longer feel the need to defend your peace. You listen, you understand, you respond when needed and stay silent when not. That kind of control radiates strength. Not loud, aggressive strength, but quiet, magnetic power. The world feels your presence differently when your calmness becomes unshakable. Every day gives you opportunities to strengthen this ability. The traffic jam, the long line, the rude comment, they are not annoyances, they are practice. Each moment you choose calmness, you're rewiring your mind for mastery. You're telling your nervous system that peace is your new normal. The beauty is that calmness compounds. Every small act of stillness builds a foundation for greater control. Over time, your baseline changes. Where you once felt anxiety, you now feel patience. Where you once felt anger, you now feel understanding. Where you once felt fear, you now feel trust. And it's in that trust that the deepest calm is found. The trust that no matter what happens, you can handle it. That's the heart of all resilience. It's not about predicting the future or avoiding pain. It's about knowing that whatever comes, you have the power to remain centered. That is the strength of a trained mind. That is the calm that cannot be broken. And once you live from that place, the world no longer controls your peace. You do. The calm mind is not built in moments of comfort. It's forged in the fires of discomfort. Growth never happens when everything feels easy. It happens when life tests you, when your patience runs thin, when things fall apart, and you have to decide who you're going to be in that moment. That decision, to stay centered, to stay composed, to stay calm, is where transformation begins. Your challenge you face is an invitation to train your mind, to choose awareness over reaction, strength over surrender, peace over panic. You must understand that the world will never stop throwing stones your way. You cannot wait for calm weather to learn to stand still. The true warrior trains in the rain. When pressure builds, when your emotions rise, when uncertainty clouds your thoughts, that is the moment to practice. It's in the middle of chaos that calmness reveals its real value. Anyone can feel peaceful when life flows smoothly. But when everything is uncertain and you still manage to breathe, to think clearly, to move with purpose, that's mastery. That's when calmness stops being an idea and becomes your nature. To live this way, you must build a habit of inner reflection. Don't run from discomfort. Study it. Observe how your mind reacts when things don't go your way. Notice the patterns. Notice how quickly anger rises, how easily fear takes control, how fast the mind looks for escape. This awareness is your greatest tool. Once you see your own patterns clearly, you gain the power to change them. Without awareness, you are a prisoner of emotion. With awareness, you become the architect of your state of mind. Every moment of tension becomes an opportunity to practice self-command. This is not suppression. Suppression is weakness disguised as control. True calmness is strength built on understanding. It doesn't mean you don't feel emotions. It means you don't drown in them. You allow yourself to feel fully, but you remain the observer. You feel anger, but you don't become it. You feel fear, but you don't serve it. You experience pain, but you don't identify with it. You stand firm, grounded in awareness, unshaken by the waves that pass through you. This is what it means to master yourself. And as you grow in this mastery, you'll start to see a quiet confidence emerge. A confidence that doesn't shout, doesn't seek validation, doesn't depend on approval. It's the kind of confidence that comes from knowing yourself deeply. You begin to realize that nothing external has the power to disturb your inner world unless you allow it. That realization changes everything. It frees you from the control of other people's moods, from the unpredictability of life's events, from the constant chase for perfection. Calmness becomes your compass. It guides you through every situation, showing you that peace is not a destination, it's a decision. A decision you make over and over until it becomes who you are. The greatest strength a human being can develop is not the ability to dominate others, but the ability to master their own mind. When you reach that level of discipline, you stop living at the mercy of life's storms and start living with the quiet, unwavering power of someone who knows that no matter what happens, peace is always within reach. When calmness becomes your natural state, life begins to unfold differently. You start to notice the space between events and reactions, the small sacred pause where clarity lives. In that space, you no longer rush. You no longer speak just to fill silence or act out of fear. You learn to listen, not only to others but to yourself. You hear the quiet voice beneath the noise, the one that knows what truly matters. That voice is your intuition, and calmness is what allows it to be heard. When the mind is still, truth rises. You begin to see that most of your suffering never came from what happened, but from how your untrained mind responded to it. A calm mind is not a passive mind. It's alert, awake, and aware. It doesn't need to control everything because it has already mastered itself. This kind of presence changes the energy you bring into every moment. People feel it. They sense that you're steady, that your emotions don't dictate your decisions, and this steadiness becomes magnetic. Others start to trust you, not because of your words, but because of your energy. Calmness is silent influence. It speaks without noise, it leads without force, it inspires without effort. But this strength doesn't appear overnight. It's the result of consistency. Small moments of awareness repeated again and again until peace becomes second nature. Every morning you breathe before reacting, you train it. Every time you choose patience over frustration, you reinforce it. Every time you respond with compassion when anger tries to rise, you build it. These small victories may seem invisible, but they are shaping you in ways you can't yet see. You are reprogramming your nervous system, rewiring your brain, and rewriting the story of who you are. That's what true progress feels like. Quiet, subtle, powerful. The more calmness grows within you, the less control the external world has over you. You stop chasing distractions because they no longer satisfy you. You stop fighting people's opinions because you no longer need their approval. You stop fearing uncertainty because you've realized that your peace doesn't depend on certainty. It depends on presence. Life still moves, sometimes wildly, but you move with it. You learn to bend without breaking, to yield without surrendering. This is flexibility born from strength, and it makes you unshakable. Even when fear whispers, even when doubt knocks, even when life doesn't make sense, your calmness becomes your anchor. You begin to understand that peace is not something you wait for. It's something you create. You create it through awareness, through acceptance, through trust. You create it every time you choose not to be dragged into chaos, every time you remember that storms always pass, and every time you realize that peace is not found by escaping the storm, but by learning to stand still within it. There's a kind of power in stillness that words can't describe. It's not the loud confidence of ego, but the silent assurance of alignment. It's the energy that comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you will not lose yourself. That kind of peace cannot be given. It must be earned. And once you earn it, it changes the way you see everything. The world no longer feels like something to fight. It becomes something to flow with. You stop surviving and start living, calmly, courageously, and fully awake. When you reach the point where calmness guides your life, you begin to understand something profound. Peace is not the absence of challenge, it's the mastery of response. The world does not become easier, you become wiser. You stop being tossed by emotions that once controlled you. You feel them fully, but you no longer drown in them. You see through them like waves on the surface of a deep ocean, always moving, always changing, but never touching the stillness beneath. That stillness is you, the part untouched by fear, untouched by chaos. When you connect to that stillness, life loses its power to shake you. There is something extraordinary that happens when calmness becomes your foundation. Your decisions become clearer. Your actions become more deliberate. You no longer rush to prove, defend, or chase. You move with quiet conviction, knowing that your worth is not determined by outcomes. You trust the process, not because it's easy, but because you've learned that growth often hides behind discomfort. Calmness allows you to see beyond the surface, to understand that even the hardest moments are shaping you into something stronger. You begin to appreciate challenges not as punishments, but as practice. Practice for mastering your inner world. When the mind is trained, pressure doesn't break you. It refines you. Just as heat strengthens metal, adversity strengthens the calm. Each difficult situation becomes another opportunity to deepen your composure, to refine your discipline, to test your awareness. You start to respond differently, with patience where there used to be anger, with focus where there used to be fear, with faith where there used to be doubt. This is not denial, it's evolution. You are no longer reacting from the surface of emotion, you are living from the depth of understanding. The beauty of calmness is that it creates clarity, and clarity creates confidence. You begin to trust yourself. You realize you don't need to control the future because you're prepared to meet it, whatever it brings. That's the ultimate strength, not the illusion of control, but the confidence of readiness. When you trust your ability to remain calm, life loses its power to intimidate you. You stop overthinking every possibility because you know that no matter what happens, you'll meet it with presence, patience, and power. And that changes the way you move through the world. You stop rushing. You stop reacting, you start flowing. You no longer waste energy trying to force life to bend to your will. You allow it to unfold while staying grounded in who you are. This doesn't mean you stop striving. It means you strive from peace, not from panic. Your calmness becomes a silent force that moves mountains, not through aggression, but through persistence and precision. Every great transformation begins with a decision to stop letting the outside world dictate your inner state. You have that power right now. You don't need a perfect environment to find peace. You just need awareness, discipline, and the courage to choose calmness when everything in you wants to react. The calm mind is not born in one day. It's built choice by choice, breath by breath, moment by moment. And each time you choose calmness over chaos, you are not only mastering your mind, you are reclaiming your life. ChatGPT said. The more you choose calmness, the more you begin to see how much energy is wasted on things that never truly matter. You notice how often the mind creates storms that never existed outside of thought. Worry, anger, and fear are illusions that feed on attention. The moment you withdraw that attention, they lose their calmness. Teaches you detachment, not from life, but from unnecessary suffering. You stop chasing after every thought, every opinion, every temporary emotion. You let them come, and you let them go. You learn to watch without reacting, to listen without absorbing, to feel without falling. That is the art of freedom, to be in the world but not ruled by it. This is where true mastery begins. You realize that calmness is not weakness. It's precision. It's not passivity. It's control. It's the power to remain steady when others break, to think clearly when others lose themselves. Calmness is the highest form of intelligence because it gives you perspective. When you're calm, you see things as they are, not as fear paints them. You stop being driven by urgency and start being guided by clarity. Every action becomes intentional. Every word becomes mindful. You move slower, but you move with purpose. You no longer rush to escape discomfort because you've learned that discomfort is where real transformation happens. Your calmness will be tested. There will be moments when people misunderstand your peace as indifference, when the world pushes your boundaries to see if you'll return to chaos. Don't. That's the test. Every time you hold your ground, you strengthen your foundation. Every time you breathe instead of breaking, you evolve. Calmness is not about winning arguments or appearing strong. It's about protecting your energy so you can use it where it truly matters. It's about staying centered so you can make decisions from wisdom, not emotion. There is a power that awakens in you when you stop letting emotion dictate your actions. It's a quiet, stable confidence that radiates from within. You no longer need to prove your strength. You embody it. You no longer need to control others. You master yourself. This is the transformation that changes everything when you realize that inner calm is not a result of a perfect life, but the foundation for creating one. Your peace becomes your responsibility. Your calmness becomes your contribution. And your energy becomes your legacy. Psychologically, this state changes your chemistry. Your stress response fades, your focus sharpens, your resilience expands. You begin to operate from the parasympathetic state, the state of recovery, balance, and clarity. Science confirms what wisdom has always known. Calmness strengthens the mind, heals the body, and elevates the spirit. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity for living a powerful life. You are not here to be consumed by the chaos around you. You are here to rise above it, to lead yourself before you lead others. Calmness is the foundation of all mastery, physical, emotional, and spiritual. When you stand firm in peace, the world feels it. Your energy shifts rooms, your silence speaks louder than noise, and your presence reminds others that there is another way to live, not in reaction, but in awareness. This is what it means to train the mind, not to escape life, but to meet it fully, calm, clear, and unbreakable.